topic will be chemical properties of nitric acid. In this, the first property is nitric acid will decompose if we provide heat or sunlight. Okay, this will be decomposing into nitrogen dioxide plus water plus oxygen. And due to these two compounds, what is the color of the nitric acid? It becomes yellow. Okay, now coming to the second chemical properties of nitric acid. Okay, what is the second chemical properties of nitric acid? Is that HNO3 is a monobasic acid, or the basicity here will be 1. Okay, how? Because HNO3 will decompose into H plus and NO3 minus 1. So the acid which furnishes only one H plus ion will be known as monobasic. Okay. Third chemical property which we will be studying here is that this nitric acid, when it reacts with alkalis. So the third one will be reaction with alkalis. Okay, or all the alkalis we all know. Okay, for example, we are taking sodium hydroxide, this is an alkali, plus nitric acid. What does it give? Alkalis. Now this, understand, sodium hydroxide is behaving both as a base plus alkali. So if we are considering base plus acid, then what is the reaction? Neutralization reaction, and that is formation of salt and water is there. That is NaNO3 formation, and plus we are having H2O. Okay. Then fourth reaction, the reaction will be with, okay, carbonates or bicarbonates. Okay, so one example each will be considering. First one, if we are taking carbonate, for example, sodium carbonate plus nitric acid. So nitric acid and carbonate is present. So carbonate on reaction with an acid is always giving carbon dioxide. So what will be the product formed here? The product will be sodium nitrate plus carbon dioxide plus water. Is it clear? So just multiply here with 2, we are having a balanced equation. Then next one, if we are considering sodium bicarbonate plus nitric acid, here also the same product formation, sodium nitrate plus we are having carbonate and plus we are having water. So as you can see, carbonate is always giving you carbon dioxide. Okay, the fifth chemical reaction will be using indicators. Okay, we all know generally we are studying 3 indicators. The first one is blue litmus paper will be changing from blue color to red. Okay, second one will be methyl orange, so orange color will be changing it to pink, and the third one will be phenolphthalein solution. This will remain colorless. Okay, now coming to the sixth property. Okay, the sixth property will be reaction of nitric acid with sulfides. Okay, sulfides or bisulfides. Now see here, any of the sulfides we take, for example, sodium sulfite I am taking, it is made to react with nitric acid. What does this give you? Again the same one of the salt, sodium nitrate. Then sulfite with reaction of acid will always give you sulfur dioxide, okay, SO2, and then what is left behind, hydrogen and oxygen will be giving you water. Okay, another example for bisulfite, for example, we take calcium bisulfite, okay, or we can take here potassium bisulfite. So it is made to react with nitric acid. What does it give you? Potassium nitrate, again sulfur dioxide and water. So as you can see, in the previous one, carbonate was giving carbon dioxide and sulfide will be giving you sulfur dioxide. Oxidizing property. Okay, now see here, if nitric acid we are considering concentrated one, and once we are considering dilute one. Okay, when nitric acid is decomposing or dilute nitric acid is decomposing, if concentrated is there, that means more of the acid is there, less of the water is present there. So this will be decomposing into nitrogen dioxide, water and nascent oxygen. But if dilute is there, that means acid is less, water is more. So what we do? we only get nitric oxide plus water and plus nascent oxygen. Now this nascent oxygen is responsible for the oxidizing nature of nitric acid. Okay, and just you remember, nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent. In the 8th reaction we will be seeing how nitric acid is behaving as a strong oxidizing agent. Now see here, in 8th reaction we'll be seeing that nitric acid reacts with metals. Okay, generally what we know, any acid when they reacts with a metal, okay, for example zinc plus HCl will be giving you zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. Okay, one more reaction you can take, calcium plus H2SO4 will be giving you calcium sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Okay, these are the usual examples for HCl and sulfuric acid, because this is also an acid. But what happens if we react metal with nitric acid? There will be no formation of hydrogen gas. Then your question will be, why hydrogen gas formation, or what will be the product formed then? The product formed will be your water, because H2 will be getting oxidized to water. So we'll be seeing the reaction. Now see here, if we are considering copper and we are making it react with nitric acid, now what happens? Copper will be reacting with nitric acid, then it will be forming. Now here also we'll be considering two cases. First one will be concentrated nitric acid and the second one will be dilute one. So first one, or I'll be removing this so that the equation will be clear to you. Okay, now see here, copper plus nitric acid, which nitric acid you are taking? Concentrated. So what happens? Concentrated, more of the acid is there, so there will be formation of copper nitrate. Okay, here it will be 2 plus concentrated is that means more of the nitric acid is present there, therefore there will be formation of nitrogen dioxide, and hydrogen is there, so there will be formation of water. Is it clear? Second case, if copper we are taking and nitric acid, but here now this is in dilute state. Dilute state means less of the acid is there. If less of the acid is there, the salt will be remaining same. Okay, but here in the previous one nitrogen dioxide formation was there, but here what will be formed? Nitric oxide plus water. Okay, so this will be your reaction if we are considering a metal. Okay, now see here, it is true that nitric acid will not give hydrogen gas because of its oxidizing nature, but there is an exception. Nitric acid also gives hydrogen gas only with two metals. Okay, what are those metals? One will be magnesium and the another one will be magnesium. Okay, Mg and Mn. Okay, we'll see the reaction. HNO3, here also HNO3, but very important condition will be, in this two reaction your nitric acid will be very dilute. Now what is the meaning of this very dilute? Very dilute means 98 to 99% will be water and only 1 to 2% will be your acid present here. Is it clear? Now what happens? There will be a reaction taking place, and that will be MgNO3 whole twice formation, and plus here it becomes hydrogen gas. Okay, here also same, MnNO3 whole twice plus H2 gas. Okay, so these two reactions are very important for your board exams. So do remember this. In nitric acid only two of the metals are present which will be giving you hydrogen gas. One is Mg, the another one is Mn. Is it clear? Okay, now coming to the ninth property or the ninth chemical property. Okay, that is reaction with non-metals. Okay, just now we have seen reaction with metals, now we'll be seeing reaction with non-metals. Okay, so non-metals, so and this also reaction is very important because three of the non-metals we are considering. First one will be your carbon, the second one will be your phosphorus, okay, and the third one will be your sulfur. Is it clear? Now see, carbon when it is made to react with nitric acid, okay, originally what does it form? It forms carbonic acid, okay, and plus nitrogen dioxide. But we should know that carbonic acid, when we provide heat, this decomposes very easily or it is unstable. So this will be decomposing into, okay, H2O plus CO2. Is it clear? Now, very important thing is there that in the previous board exam, you might have seen that straight away this equations had come and they had asked how to balance this. Okay. So one by one, before balancing, I am writing all the reaction. Then I'll tell you the trick for this. So phosphorus plus nitric acid, what does this form? This will be forming phosphoric acid. Again, water formation and nitrogen dioxide. For sulfur also, HNO3. Okay, here what it is considered for sulfur, it is producing sulfuric acid, again plus water, and what we are having, nitrogen dioxide. Is it clear? Okay, now see, one by one we will be seeing how to balance this. Now just this is a trick, so do remember, because every reaction you cannot just sit in the exam hall and just balance it. What you have to do, some of the reaction you have to learn their coefficients. Carbon, we all know atomic number is 6. So if we do the electronic configuration of carbon, this becomes 2, 4. So what is the valence electron? 4. So straight away in nitric acid you multiply by 4. Okay. Now coming to the balancing. Now here the nitrogen has become 4. Okay. So you multiply here with 4. Okay. When nitrogen is 4, here also nitrogen is 4, your nitrogen is balanced. Now coming to hydrogen. Okay. Hydrogen, how many? 4 numbers are there. So here only 2 is there. So you multiply here with 2. So hydrogen is also balanced. Your nitrogen is also balanced. Carbon is already balanced here. Now see, how many oxygen? 4 3s are 12 oxygen. Here 4 2s are 8, 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 2, 12. So this equation is your balanced equation. Now coming to phosphorus, okay. In phosphorus we all know what is the atomic number of phosphorus? 15. So what do we write here? P4. Okay, generally we write P4. Now 15 is the atomic number, electronic configuration 2, 8, 5. So what is the valence electron here? 5. So what do? Just in 4 you multiply with 5. So what is the number? 5 4s are 20. So you multiply here with 20. Are you getting this? Now when you have, okay, so here nitrogen is 20, here also nitrogen is 20. Now what you will be doing? Just phosphorus is 4, here you will multiply here with 4. Okay, so phosphorus is balanced, your nitrogen is also balanced. Now coming to hydrogen. So how many hydrogen? 4 3s are 12. 12 and 2. 14 is there, but here how many hydrogen is there? 20 hydrogen is there. So 4 3s are 12. In 12, how much you have to add? You have to add 8. Okay, so just I'll multiply here with 4. So 4 2s are 8. 8 plus 12, 20. So your hydrogen is also balanced. Now coming to oxygen. 23s are 60. 4 4s are 16. 16 plus 4, 20. 20 and 4, 60. So your second equation is also balanced. Now coming to sulfur. Sulfur, we all know what is the atomic number? 16. Electronic configuration 2, 8, 6. So what is your valence electron? 6. So you multiply here with 6. When you are multiplying here with 6, here also you have to multiply with 6. So nitrogen 6, nitrogen 6. Now hydrogen is 6 here, and sulfur is 1, sulfur is 1. Hydrogen here 2, and here also 2. Okay. So what do you have to do? This oxygen you consider here is 18, but here 4, and here 6 plus 2, 12. 12 plus 4, 16. Okay. So how much more? 2 more. So 16 plus 2, 18. So your oxygen is balanced. Your nitrogen is also balanced. Sulfur is also balanced. Now it's the term of hydrogen. So 6 hydrogen. So 2 to 4. Okay. That becomes 6. So this is your balanced equation. Hope student this balancing is clear, because just what you have to understand, the coefficients here. Okay. Carbon atomic number 6, electronic configuration 2, 4. Phosphorus 15, 5 is there. We usually write P4. So 5 4s are 20 straight away, and then you can very easily balance this. Then sulfur atomic number 16, valence electron 6. So 6 will be multiplied here, and you can easily balance.